Welcome everybody to another FAQ Monday. Today I answer all the questions that keep you up at night, or not even close to that. If you have a question, feel free to leave them down below in the comments, or if you want to do it anonymously, go to my little Ask FM question thing in the doobly-doo. First question. How do you feel about modern vintage guitars? Should they be kept in factory state or upgraded? You know, it's really a fine balance between keeping it all original and keeping it so it plays. And that's usually the rule that I stick to. If you can't play it, then what's the point of even having it? So you want to make it playable. I was supposed to demo a set of pickups for Fastback, and they had this lovely early 70s Strat, and the tuners were literally falling off of the headstock, but they didn't want to touch it because, you know, it's all original, so we don't want to touch. It's like, okay, well, I can't even play it. It held tune for, I don't know, I think maybe 5 seconds. It might have been 6 seconds, but it was no longer than that. And I was recently faced with this question when I got my 77 Gibson RD, and I hated the stock pickups. They were pretty anemic. You know, they're old pickups. And I was faced with, well, do I change the pickups or do I keep everything original? Do I put my strap locks on it? And the conclusion I eventually came to is, well, yeah, I want to play it. You know, it's meant to be played. I don't really believe in guitars that sit in a collector's collection and, you know, behind a display case. I think, you know, guitars should be played and beat up a little bit. But it's just me.
Got any albums or artists you're into at the moment?
I've been on a Soundgarden kick lately. It's just a classic band that I loved growing up, and with the 20th anniversary of Super Unknown and seeing all the hype surrounding that, I revisited the album and I just fell in love with it all over again. There is another local band that I have been listening to over and over again nonstop for a while now, and they are called Witch Ripper. And you can find their Bandcamp in the description of this video. Curtis is the singer, and they are local in Seattle. Curtis is a good dude. He's the chief songwriter, and he is Witch Ripper. And I love that band so much. And they're going to be recording an album at some point. They have an EP out right now. If you like down Cancer Bats, but a little bit different, they're kind of in that genre. And the cool thing is they play all hollow body, like Gretsch guitars, like super heavy fuzzed out, detuned music on Gretsch hollow bodies and a 50s drum kit. It's so fantastically awesome. I highly recommend you support them and check them out.
Hi man, what would be the criteria to select a tuning for a song? Any light on this?
I mainly just go by feel and what I'm hearing in my head. Now, when I think of a riff, I don't normally go, that riff is in drop A, or that riff is in drop C, or something like that. I don't think anybody does. Well, maybe Steve Vai does, I don't know. But normally I will have the riff in the groove that I like, and then I will tune up or down depending on the feel. And the feel can change drastically, especially from drop B to drop A sharp, which is where I like to rest my proverbial head a lot. And sometimes, like, something is in drop B and I want it just a little bit more mastodon-y or something, for example, I'll go to drop A sharp. And it's just whatever works out. I don't know, I have the luxury of having several guitars with, you know, just in loads of different tunings, so I can just pick one up and try it in that guitar, and if I don't like that, then I'll try it in another guitar. But back when I had one guitar, everything was in the same tuning, which was at the time drop C, I believe. So, yep, feel.
Hey Fluff, long-time viewer, first-time asker. Just wondering how you go about setting your amp tone for recording versus room sound. Is there much difference in the approach? I've heard sometimes people dial their amps a bit brighter for recording. Thanks.
I get this question all the time, and I usually set the amp roughly, so if I get something in the box and I haven't messed with it at all, I will usually stand in front of it. I'll put some earplugs on, some of those high definition earplugs, so I can still hear some of the highs and lows, and I will dial it to how I would have it if I was in a live setting and I was about ready to jam with the band. Once I move the cab in to the other room that I usually mic it up with, you know, all bets are off. It doesn't really matter how it sounds in that room because I'm not in that room. And how it sounds under the SM57 is going to be completely different from how it sounds in the room. and that's assuming that I'm not going to capture the room or something like that. Just close micing a cab. So after I just get it ballpark how I would have it, I roll it into the room, throw a mic under it, and then I listen to it through the monitors and tweak from there. And whatever I end up dialing in is what is going to sound best under the condition of the mic. I don't really care about how it sounds in the room because it's not what I'm going for. I'm recording.
What's the one piece of gear you wish you could have?
That changes all of the time. I'm sure you guys feel my pain on that one. But currently, the new Friedman Jerry Cantrell Double J signature amp. Oh, it looks so good and it sounds so good and I want it so bad, but I can't have it because it's too expensive. I'm a huge Jerry Cantrell fanboy, as all of you know by now. I have his signature G-Now Rampage and it's awesome, and his amp is amazing. And I am an amp guy. I think of myself as an amp guy, not necessarily a guitar guy, just an amp guy. I love amps, and him finally coming out with a signature amp is just, oh man, that's like wrapping all of the best childhood moments of your entire life and cool drinking games when you were a teenager all in one. That's the feeling that I get. It's like a koala pooping a rainbow on my brain. It's, oh, I want.
Fluff, what other genres of music or artists inspire you besides the obvious? Any guilty pleasures? I want to know more about the man behind the beard.
Yeah, there's a few. Lately I've been into Lana Del Rey. I think she's brilliant. Her music is just fantastic, and I thought it was, I heard the description once of someone called her Hollywood sadcore, and I thought, you know, that's so fitting and so descriptive of how she sounds, because when you listen to her music, you're instantly in 1940s Hollywood, which is awesome. I love how music can just transport you back. Seemingly, I mean, I assume, obviously I wasn't around then, but still, it really evokes that feeling and that nostalgic thing. Not necessarily the 40s, but you know what I mean. Daft Punk, I'm still listening to Random Access Memories. I thought that record was just insanely brilliant, and the production, man, it's so good. And what's a few other ones? Old Katy Perry, I guess, is a guilty pleasure. I haven't checked out any of her newer stuff, but don't even hate on Katy, because she's awesome, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm still a man too, I promise. At any rate, that wraps up this week's FAQ. Again, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I will see them, and maybe you will get on another video. And until next time, I am your host, Fluff. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.